the first question, could you please describe your role within Intel Security?
So my role at Intel Security is actually really quite broad. In most cases, not one day is similar to the other one. So it involves a lot of travel. In many cases, what I'll do is I'll be meeting with customers, really articulating what our vision and what our roadmap is as a company. Be working with the teams to help define what our technical strategy is. I'll be conducting research with our teams and writing white papers, writing blogs, speaking around the world, articulating what we do as an organization. I also work directly with law enforcement as well as standards bodies. It's quite a broad role, I think it's fair to say.
Could you describe in short what's the term security connected is really all about?
So security connected really is quite simple. We as an industry have had this concept of security only being as strong as the weakest link. Well, we kind of recognize that and we feel, we need security connected across the enterprise. And so historically what people would do as organizations is if they had a problem, they would find, say, for example, one product to go ahead and fix that. What we're saying here is rather than looking at the individual issues, let's have a look at the broader problem that we have and put in appropriate security right across the board.
You have proposed a solution for the whole market to integrate security products. What's the market reaction to this? Are other companies open to cooperate?
So actually, remarkably, if we look at the history of the way that we've acted as an organization, we've always had a fairly large portfolio with regards to security. But what you've also begun to see, and which people may not be aware of, is we've got a really rich ecosystem. As an organization, we recognize that we can't do everything, and actually we're not even going to pretend and try to do everything. So we've had the Security Innovation Alliance, which has allowed to date about 140 companies the ability to be able to integrate and interoperate with our technology and our management solution. But now we're going one step further. The data exchange layer really is intended to be that open standard that allows any organization across the world, any security vendor, the ability to fully connect and fully automate their solutions with our technology. The reality is that not one organization can claim to do everything, or rather they can claim to do everything, but they can't do everything. The reality is what we need a solid industry response with regards to this. So that's why we as an organization have that approach with regards to allowing an ecosystem to be able to protect environments.
Are all your security products really connected right now?
Our security products are connected, and one of the things that I would say is, organizations or people listening to this may turn around and say, well, of course he's going to say that. But the reality is that you can only really test the validity of a solution if you put it in your own environment. So put it in a proof of concept environment, put it in your infrastructure, and actually have a look for yourself, because I can turn around and say certain things and you probably may well be expecting me to say that, but give it a try.
Working together among different companies, especially on such a competitive market as security is probably sometimes tough. Do you think the market forces will drive this cooperation in time? Or we need the support from the regulators, policies, law, and then some kind of stuff which sometimes helps to make standards and make different bodies to cooperate?
Our competition aren't the people that you think are our competition. We've worked openly and collaboratively with, Symantec and the Kasperskys and the Trend Micros of this world, and, specifically with law enforcement to go after who are our real competition. And our real competition are those people targeting your family, targeting you, targeting your data, targeting information that's held about you in large enterprises and in government institutions. We've actually got a history and a track record of showing that we not only can work with other organizations as both public and private sector, but realistically we have actually done that. Earlier today we were talking about some of the work required to take down large criminal infrastructures. And we did that because we recognize, like we said earlier, not one organization can do everything. You can't expect law enforcement to do everything. Likewise, you can't expect private industry to do everything. It really has to be a collaborative effort. So, I'd like to think that, people listening to this recognize that and have actually seen the fruits of our labor.
Mm-hmm. What is your guess if you look at for the future? When we'll have connected security among different vendors? We'll have an integration of information about security. It's 2 years ahead, or 5 years ahead, or 10 years, or
we have real integration today. It's the reality. We may not have the level of integration that some people expect or some people demand, but the truth is that, ever since I've come into the organization, we've been fully committed at having as much integration as we possibly can. How many other organizations today can turn around and say, well, we've got 140 people in the 140 organizations in the ecosystem? We have real integration, we have interoperability today. And what's even more incredible is we've actually got customers out there that can actively sit down and show you where we've actually done integration and interoperability. We've designed and deployed one of the world's first digital oil fields, which has multiple organizations collaborating and working within that. We've done reference architectures for nuclear power plants, nuclear facilities, which actually have multiple products in that portfolio. We've done secondary substation automation projects. We've done, primary substation automation projects. All of these scenarios won't happen if you turn around and say, well, we're the only show in town, because as the only show in town, you're not going to be able to provide all of the requirements. So I wouldn't even like to say, I will say we have real integration, real interoperability today. And as we begin to move forward, we will have further interoperability as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much.